What happens when a Hollywood A-lister walks onto a late-night set, expecting a typical promotional interview, only to find herself in the middle of an ambush that spirals into one of the most uncomfortable confrontations ever broadcast on network television? Tonight, we're breaking down every moment of the interview that shocked millions, the one where Amanda Seyfried went from charming guest to furious adversary in a matter of minutes, ultimately leading to her removal from the stage. Before we dive into the chaos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below telling us whose side you're on after hearing what really went down. Because trust me, you'll want to weigh in on this one. The stage lights were blinding as Amanda Seyfried walked out to thunderous applause, flashing the familiar smile she'd perfected through years of premieres, red carpets, and press tours. Jimmy Fallon jumped up from behind his desk, arms wide, greeting her with the same enthusiastic warmth he offered every guest. The atmosphere felt light, celebratory, exactly what viewers expected from a standard late-night appearance. Amanda was there to promote her latest film, a psychological thriller already buzzing with awards chatter, and everything seemed perfectly on script. "Welcome back to the show," Jimmy said as they settled into their seats. "It's been way too long." "Thanks for having me," Amanda replied smoothly. "It's always fun to be here." Jimmy praised the film, calling it intense, gripping, and impossible to look away from. Amanda relaxed slightly, nodding as he spoke, clearly ready to discuss her role and the long months of work behind it. But then Jimmy leaned forward, his tone shifting just enough to change the air in the room. "Before we get into the movie," he said, smiling, "I wanted to ask you about something I saw online." Amanda's smile didn't disappear, but it froze. Jimmy brought up a viral clip from a charity event. Casually describing how it appeared, she brushed off a fan who asked for a photo. His tone was playful, almost teasing, but the effect was immediate. The audience quieted. Amanda's posture stiffened. "I'm sorry, what?" she asked. Jimmy insisted it was harmless curiosity, a chance for her to clear the air. But Amanda pushed back, calmly at first, explaining she was late and someone stepped directly into her path with a camera. That should have been the end of it. Instead, Jimmy pressed further, pointing out how dismissive it looked on video. That's when the temperature changed. Amanda accused him of ambushing her, of turning a planned promotional interview into a public interrogation. Nervous laughter rippled through the crowd as Jimmy tried to downplay it, insisting it was just a question. But the warmth was gone. The room felt tight, uneasy, like something fragile had cracked. And with that crack, the interview was no longer under control. Jimmy attempted to reset, pivoting back to the film, but the damage lingered like static in the air. His compliments landed flat. Amanda answered politely but tersely, her voice controlled yet edged with irritation. Every exchange felt forced, like two people pretending nothing had gone wrong, while everyone in the room knew it had. Then Jimmy tried to apologize, but not for the question itself, only for upsetting her. Amanda caught it instantly. "That's not an apology," she said. "That's damage control." She accused him of prioritizing viral moments and ratings over basic respect, of using his platform to corner her into addressing tabloid nonsense she never agreed to discuss. Jimmy grew defensive, insisting this was simply part of being a public figure. "Conversations go off script," he argued. "That's the job." Amanda didn't back down. She pointed out the impossible position he'd put her in, explain herself, and look defensive, stay silent and look guilty, or get upset and be labeled difficult. A lose-lose setup she believed was intentional. The audience was silent now, hanging on every word. Then Amanda asked a question that visibly shook him. "When was the last time you opened an interview with a male actor by asking him to defend a viral moment where someone thought he was rude?" Gasps echoed through the studio. Jimmy tried to dismiss the implication, but the seed had been planted. Amanda spoke about double standards, about how men are allowed bad days while women are labeled problems, about how exhaustion becomes entitlement, boundaries become attitude, and standing up for yourself becomes making a scene. Jimmy denied sexism played any role, but his certainty faltered. Amanda pressed harder, explaining how constant surveillance, constant judgment, and constant expectation to be gracious wears women down in this industry. She admitted she respected Jimmy. That made this hurt more. The tension escalated fast. Voices rose. Jimmy accused her of blowing things out of proportion. Amanda stood up, That's always the line, she said. When a woman refuses to be steamrolled, she's overreacting. Jimmy asked her to sit down. She removed her microphone instead. At that moment, the interview was no longer salvageable. Jimmy's frustration spilled into the open, as he accused Amanda of attacking him on his own show. She corrected him sharply. She was defending herself. He demanded an apology. She refused. The audience reacted in fragmented gasps and murmurs, unsure who to support, unsure if they were witnessing television history or a complete collapse. Amanda spoke directly to the power imbalance in the room, reminding Jimmy, and everyone watching, that he controlled the stage, the cameras, the narrative. Using that power to force discomfort, she said, wasn't entertainment. It was exploitation. That was the breaking point. Get off my stage, Jimmy snapped. The words hit the room like a slap. For a moment, no one moved. Then Amanda nodded, calm but resolute. Gladly, she said. She apologized to the audience, not for her reaction, but for the situation. She reminded viewers that the film she came to promote was made by dozens of people who deserved better than what had just happened. Before leaving, she turned to the camera with one final message for anyone who's ever been made to feel wrong for setting boundaries or standing up for themselves. You're not wrong. You don't owe anyone compliance. She walked off to scattered, uncertain applause. Jimmy stood frozen, then abruptly cut to commercial. Stage managers rushed in. The band played. The show limped forward, but the illusion was shattered. Millions had just watched the late-night formula implode live on air. After the broadcast, the fallout was immediate. Clips flooded social media within minutes. Some hailed Amanda as brave. Others accused her of being unprofessional. Comment sections erupted. Think pieces followed. The interview wasn't just a viral moment. It became a referendum on power, gender, and the cost of speaking up in Hollywood. Jimmy didn't address the incident that night. Amanda didn't post a statement, and that silence only fueled the debate further. What viewers saw wasn't scripted chaos. It was raw conflict. Two public figures colliding in a space designed to hide discomfort behind laughter. And once that mask slipped, there was no putting it back on. So now the question isn't just who was right or wrong. It's what this moment revealed. And whose side are you really on?